is obviously a tool of unity, but if we cannot find it translated into our native language masterpiece, what do we commonly think about? Languages. Thus, we have invited an interesting guest today for you to learn more about their power in accomplishing the youth representatives' ambitions. Oleksandra Gol'dina was qualified for the International Linguistics Olympiad as a part of the Ukrainian team. She is an active young academic achiever and actress, which brought her to the Dartmouth College.
Hello, Sasha. Happy to meet you in our internet interview regarding your pathway in the International Linguistics Olympiad and some personal questions about also your future education and different things. Let's start from the first part, which will be about the Olympiad in and of itself. Briefly describe your pathway of winning a competitive national Olympiad and entering the International Linguistics Olympiad. Yeah.
Hi, thank you for inviting me and for this great question. It's great to see you. As for my participation in the Olympics, I have started competing pretty early, back in 2019 when I was in 6th grade. And altogether, it took me 4 years to get to my first International Olympiad, and then a year later to my second International Olympiad. So that was kind of a long journey, but I got my reward of competing in the IRL in the end. So it took me a lot of practice, several national competitions, and in general, a lot of experience to get to the point of an International Olympiad.
Okay, that's pretty amazing and pretty long way. And another one question regarding this Olympiad, many people claim that not only languages and logic are important for completing this Olympiad successfully, but such things as mathematics and creativity in general are also important. So what do you think about that, and what helped you mostly in your way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And the Linguistics Olympiad is very multi-sided. It's fit for people who are into languages, but also who are into maths. And I love the way that Linguistics Olympiads kind of combine different ways of thinking. Like, there is no saying that, oh, the Linguistics Olympiads are just for language lovers, or oh, the Linguistics Olympiads are just for people who are good at math. No, it's about combining all these ways of thinking and of completing the tasks. So I would say that this is knowing how to combine all these qualities is what led me to be successful in the Olympiad, and what in general appeals to people about it.
Okay, thank you so much. That's interesting. And how did you surmount emergencies and stressful situations during this pathway? Because we all understand that Olympiad are quite stressful.
Well, it's a good question. I'd say that there weren't many stressful situations for me personally, but of course, as a Ukrainian, I had to face some challenges regarding the Olympiad. Like, a good example of this is at my last National Olympiad last year. I know that the organizers had to seek a safe place for all the participants to compete, and it took a while to find a big enough space that would both be safe in Kyiv and would fit all the participants. And in the end, we completed the Olympiad in the basement of a big lyceum. So this is certainly a challenge that comes with organizing Olympiads today in Ukraine, finding a safe enough place. And of course, it requires you to adjust to a new environment and to, kind of remain calm and focused in this new environment. But yeah, I'd say that I was pretty prepared for it, just by being a bit used to these situations.
Okay, and the last question about the Olympiad itself. So, what advice can you give for just linguistic learners or the Olympiad participant, the ambitious, maybe high schoolers who want to take part? How to start?
Well, firstly, I would heavily encourage everyone to try and participate. This Olympiad is really amazing in the way it boosts your thinking in so many ways. And I think that when you first hear the word linguistics and the Linguistics Olympiad, you kind of start thinking about languages, maybe something harder than languages, like learning a lot of theory. But truthfully, it isn't like that. To succeed in the Linguistics Olympiad, firstly, you need to have this creative way of thinking. You need to learn how to push and bend your thinking in order to solve a problem. And it's truly exciting when you see a problem and you just spend long minutes and hours just getting acquainted with it, twisting it in different ways, looking at it from different angles. It's very exciting for me personally, and I know it is for many other people. So whether you're more of a math student or just someone who's passionate about languages, or just someone who loves logical tasks and everything, I would really encourage you to participate and, of course, to practice a lot. I think that's the most useful way to succeed in a Linguistics Olympiad. You just practice, you solve a lot of problems, you learn a bit of theory, but mostly you practice, and anyone can succeed in it really with a lot of practice.
So, thank you so much for telling more about this competition, and let's move on to more personal part. So, what do linguistics mean for you as a person? Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, firstly, as I have already mentioned, for me it's a field that combines so many things. Like, it's a very diverse area. Linguistics can mean anything, like from being more computational to being purely societal. And it is that I love about this field, how it intersects with others, and the many ways in which languages kind of intersect with other fields of our lives. And yeah, that's why I hope to use linguistics in my future in some way or another. Because, well, languages are all around us, but there are so many ways to explore them in very different contexts, and this really excites me about linguistics. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, we also know that you have entered an Ivy League university, which is really a good accomplishment. You're so determined, so yeah, really congratulate you. And do you intend to connect your education in an Ivy League university with linguistics? You have talked about it a bit, but maybe you can extend this topic.
Yeah, I really look forward to exploring linguistics in more academical settings, not just in terms of problem solving. I'm not yet decided with my major completely. Like, I certainly hope to take linguistics classes. I know that Dartmouth College has some really amazing linguistics professors and some pretty cool opportunities, so I look forward to it. But I'm not yet completely decided whether I'm going to major in linguistics. And once again, it's a very multidisciplinary field, so there are like pretty many ways to explore it, and perhaps I will find some way that is more meaningful to me than others.
That's amazing. And the next question is more about also magazine, about the intermingling of linguistics and such activities as reading and writing. So, in your opinion, how do linguistics can help young readers and writers to obtain new achievements or try something new simply?
Well, I think that for writers, it might be more interesting to look at the sociological part of linguistics. As for me personally, and as a writer too, a person who likes just writing stuff, short stories, and everything, I have always subconsciously like given my characters different ways of speaking, and I think every writer does so. Like a little kid cannot speak the same way as an old person, or a person from Ukraine cannot speak the same way as a person from the US. And I think that knowing linguistics, like just being in this field, makes you more aware of that. And it can help you to differentiate your characters from one another. Perhaps give them accents or give them just some interesting features of speech that will make them more unique and just more appealing to the reader. So, yeah. And speaking about Linguistics Olympiads, it's just a great way um, to learn how to solve problems everywhere, both the problems you're given and some real life problems, as it pushes you to seek more creative solutions. And that's definitely something a writer needs. So yeah, I'm sure that is useful for any writer or reader.
Thank you so much for an exhaustive answer. And the last question of our interview sounds like, what one lesson that International Linguistics Olympiad or other experiences taught you that can be passed on to our readers?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's kind of hard to single out one lesson because, yeah, there's a lot to think about. Well, I think as in any competition, the answer is to practice a lot. And in general, I think linguistics problems have taught me a lot about not giving up, just pushing forward to find a solution to any problem, finding another way to solve it, finding a way around a problem. And this is something pretty useful for each person, I think. That's probably an answer any contestant in any Olympiad would give you. But still, I believe that is something that all competitions teach us and something pretty great to have in your mind.
So thank you so much for participating in this interview, for communicating with us. Looking forward to maybe future interactions or anything else we can think about. Yeah. So I'm grateful, and Irelite is also grateful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.